to marketing and bounce some ideas about how we can potentially make the world a better place. So to tell you a real quick story about how we got started on our existing company. So Genesis AI's main core product is an AI API marketplace. So idea here is when we were running our previous AI startup, we figured out that there are so many AI tools out there in the internet, but there's no connectivity amongst them. There's no communications. These AI tools are not learning from each other. They are not exchanging data, and they are not trading services. So AI models are existing mostly in closed environments, separate from each other. And we thought that we could really improve quality and functionality of these AI tools if we interconnected them together. Imagine, for instance, that when you are looking for a speech recognition tool, you don't need to build it yourself. You don't need to spend 10 hours looking on looking at speech recognition solution in the internet. Rather, you can go to a single platform which has lots of different speech recognition tools and discover, test, and compare these solutions before you make a decision which one to use. And not only we decide to build a platform for discovery, testing, and integration of different AI APIs, but also platforms that allowed increasing accuracy rate of these AI tools through interconnectivity, right? Simplest example is if you average output of multiple AI models, sometimes you end up getting higher accuracy rate than if you relied on a single one of them. So this is where we started and how we started for our existing company. And then when we were acquiring lots of users in 2021, 2022, we are using Facebook ads and Google ads. And they're working really well until Apple came up with iOS 14 related privacy changes. So what was iOS related privacy changes? Apple basically said that right now, simplest summary is tracking users across iOS application became around 10 times difficult. Why and how that became 10 times difficult? Apple changed the way user behavior is tracked across applications, making it impossible for applications to track it unless users explicitly consent to be tracked. So before, default was that you would be tracked across different applications if you, for example, accessed Facebook app. What does this mean is if you use the Facebook application on iOS and then you went and used another application, Facebook will know about it. There was a cross-app tracking, which right now, from this standpoint, seems crazy, but it is what it was, right? And then Apple basically changed tracking that now they have been asking users, do you want to be tracked across application when they download a new application? And I think 75 to 80% of the people say no. And that number probably gonna go up close to 90-95% as we evolve into this world of tech companies abusing our data even more and more. And that's the directions that we are going, right? We see every year different news about how somebody got hacked or how somebody used our own data we gave them against our own advantage, and so on. So, but biggest problem with this iOS 14 changes for us was that marketing ROI pretty much went down close to 1.2. So return on investment we had, which was around 4 or 5x, went down by around 4x. after Apple came out with this iOS 14 related changes. And then the question became, okay, what can be done? How can we do marketing to achieve our tasks, right? And we embarked on this journey of experimenting with all types of marketing you can imagine. Of course, starting from trying other platforms as Facebook ads and Google ads, cold calls, ringless voicemails. We tried it experimenting. We even had the banner on the bus shelter in Miami. So we tried literally everything, SEO and so on, and we found that email marketing would have been the best way to acquire users. Why? So conceptually, we made this decision based on observations because it costs almost nothing to generate a click from sending an email, right? For example, if you bring 5-10 users on your website for Facebook ads, Facebook on average in US, for instance, is going to charge you around $30-40 for that. So $3-4 per click that you are paying for bringing somebody from Facebook, right? But if I send an email to person X and he opens it and he clicks it, guess what's my cost per click? It's close to zero, right? Yes, of course, I'm paying a fixed price for the monthly email, blah, blah, blah. But cost at scale, especially, will be close to zero to generate a click. So this was a groundbreaking idea for us. And then we start looking at, okay, what's the best email marketing solution? What can we use to send emails at scale, right? And we tried everything, starting from having multiple G Suite accounts, having, for example, 30 different Gmail accounts to send emails. We decided to do that quantity because Gmail restricts how many emails you can send a day, right? We experimented, of course, with SendGrid, with Mailgun, with MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, everything you are knowledgeable of. We probably tried that. I would say around 20 to 30 platforms. And we found biggest problems that exist in email marketing, which is they are in a complete control of determining your future. What does this mean? They are the most autocratic platforms you can ever imagine. So we want, democracy in the world, but in case of email marketing, there's absolutely no democracy. What this means is, if they don't like how many emails you are sending, and for example, they think that your emails do not meet their requirements, they will ban you. For instance, they will ban you if your emails have X% spam rates. If X% of people you sent out email mark you as a spam, they will ban you. And all of the investments you made in setting up campaigns, uploading data, which they capture, and you have no idea how they are using it after they capture it, and all money you spend, everything will be gone if they think that you broke arbitrarily set threshold, even if there's not enough data point. If, for example, you set out, 10,000 emails and around 10 people marked you as a spam. For example, the reason might be just that you just made a mistake, you made a mistake in something, and then people were like, this is probably spam, so we're gonna report as a spam, and people report you as a spam, and then guess what? SendGrid, MailChimp, those guys suspend your account, ban you, they take your money, take everything pretty much. They of course continue building the features and so on, and making money for their shareholders, but they will ban you. So this goes completely against democracy and lots of other things. So we came up that better way was to not be dictator in this email marketing, rather than allow people to be in control of their sending practices, right? Basically, being a technology provider and do not get involved in anything else. And we found that this can be achieved through allowing people to build their own custom mail server. So our software allows people to send emails using their own custom mail server. So what does custom mail server mean? So custom mail server is a virtual computer that you are renting out on the cloud that you use to transmit email from your virtual private computer to another person's email account. Its email data is very, very small, right? It's usually just a couple of kilobytes. If you are sending attachments, okay, maybe 1 or 2 megabytes or 3 megabytes. So it's computationally not expensive to send email from one account to another account. And you don't need G Suite for that. You don't need Yahoo Mail to send emails. Why should you let go control of your own sending practices in order to have this virtual computer transmitting just a couple of kilobytes of data a day? You don't need anyone for that, technically. So we ended up automating this full process of renting a virtual private computer on behalf of a user, and also setting up what they call everything you need, your own Gmail email client, which is going to allow you to check the emails that came in, compose emails, and so on. And the biggest benefit here again is you are not being told by anyone what you can do, rather than we are just a technology provider and you are in control of your own destiny. So I'll talk now a little bit more about what's the best email marketing solution can look like, in addition to allowing people to send large-scale email campaigns using their own custom mail server. So you need lots of email sending infrastructure, you need email data infrastructure, and you also need the personalization at scale, right? And usually these three things are not all coming together. For instance, if you are sending lots of emails, or if you have an infrastructure to send lots of emails, then the problem becomes, how do we acquire lots of emails? It costs around $0.5 to costs $0.5 to buy one email online. 0.5. So if you want to send a large-scale email campaign of, let's say, 100,000, you will need to spend around 50,000 of that. That's like too much, right? Or if you have lots of email data, sometimes you do not have an infrastructure to send it. If I had 1 million emails and I wanted to send this on via Gmail, good luck, right? Gmail restricts your sending to around 100 a day. If it's a personal account, it's around 500 a day. If it's a corporate account. So I will take literally like many months to be able to send those emails, probably years. So what's and the final part is personalization, right? If your emails are right now, personalization is 1.0 is you're personalizing email by person's name, by person's company name, title, and so on. And this is very simplistic, and people do not see when they receive an email personalized using this as truly personalized. For example, 20 years ago, if I received an email, hey, Archil, you want to check this out? I was like, this email was probably personalized because it has my name. It was really hard tech-wise to dynamically change a recipient's name. Then the companies went a little bit more sophisticated, and they started to personalize anything you wanted in the email body. For example, hey, Archil, I saw you are CEO at company X. In my case, it would have been Genesis AI. Do you want to talk next week about human resources solution, for instance, right? And people were like, oh, this seems pretty personal. Let me talk to this guy, because it seems like this guy did a research about what I do, and they they probably think that it's a good solution for me. But people do not trust that right now, because everyone is sending personalized emails like that. So next step of evolution in personalized emails will be complete email body personalization using generative AI. So OpenAI, which launched GPT-4 around 6 months ago, allows anyone to personalize email content based on user data. For example, I can tell OpenAI, here is email I'm planning to send. Here is data about recipients. For example, I have biographies of different recipients and their skills and education and other attributes. So personalized email based on that. And ChatGPT might say something like, hey, I know you are proficient in, for example, sending emails using open source solutions, and we launched a new open source marketing solution. Would you be interested to check it out? You are not seeing here anywhere somebody just saying, hey, James, hey, John, I saw you are interested in this company. No, it goes much beyond that. It achieves two things. First, each email pretty much becomes unique. And second, each person has a unique reason in the email to basically do whatever you want them to do, right? So why these two things are important? First, it's important each email to be a little bit different, because that's then different email providers will reduce your deliverability rates intentionally if they think that you are sending lots of bulk messages. If they see that you are not sending personalized messages, they will reduce all else equal, let's say, your open rate from like 70% to 20% or 10%. But if you are gonna adjust email content, not just names and company names, full email content per email recipient, then you will be basically telling Google that these are truly personalized emails. The second part is on the email recipient side, if I'm receiving specific reasons why I should use this product, which is really relevant to my biography and what I do and so on, that becomes a lot more convincing for me to say, okay, I want to have a conversation with that guy. And the interesting part is more people provide good engagement on emails you're sending out, more open rate, click rate, deliverability it has on average. What does this mean? If, let's say, we define engagement rate as a weighted mix of click rate, open rate, response rate, and so on. And let's say that one email has engagement rate of 10%, another one has engagement rate of 5%. If engagement rate because one email's engagement rate is a lot higher, that affects percent of emails that would land in an inbox of a person. I'm not just talking about not landing in spam. There are like lots of inboxes people have, right? Promotion, social, and so on. So there is a two-way cause-effect relationship between engagement and inbox placement. You need inbox placement to have some engagement. If you are in spam all the time, there's no way to have good engagement. And you need engagement in order to land in inbox. If nobody is opening and clicking your emails, then Google will think it's a low quality. Google and other platforms will think it's a low quality email. So they are going to continue not deliver your email where it needs to be delivered. So hyper-personalization at scale using generative AI, that's a direction we are heading. That will be email 2.0. And we believe that our company is actually ideal for that because we are a large-scale email sending and email data platform. So it's a natural fit for us. And also as an AI company, it's really natural for us to build hyper-personalization at scale using generative AI. So I'll talk real quick about how this might work because I'm sure that lots of people are interested in generative AI. It truly has been a revolutionary product for pretty much every industry we observe. So simplest way to build this is to, there are two ways, right? So first way is tell ChatGPT information you have about email recipients, their bios, names, and so on, and give it an email template, and ChatGPT going to do that one by one. If you want to do that at scale, you can use their ChatGPT API, right, which is going to allow you to make generate around 200 personalized emails per minute. That's one way. Second way is if you have lots of good personalized emails, you can further fine-tune ChatGPT on those emails. Fine-tuning in this case means when you improve existing AI model by feeding it your own specific to your own use case data, right? So for instance, I have, let's say, 10 million emails that I sent, and 2 million of those emails are marked by me as great personalized emails. And those emails are truly, truly personalized. Let's say those things were personalized by hand, by a human, right? So ChatGPT will find trends between what is good personalization and what is not good personalization. It's gonna, for example, find a trend that every time there is a label that says this email is highly personalized and good, there is few sentences about a person's occupation, ChatGPT will find that it's usually a good idea to mention a person's occupation and talk about it when you are sending a personalized email. So this is going to be, so right now, ChatGPT's email personalization system works really well. You can try it right now. For example, if you're doing recruiting and you want to email someone at Google asking him about opportunity in their product team, you can use provide LinkedIn profile to ChatGPT and do that, right? But this is not scalable. You cannot do this for hundreds of people, or in our case, for millions of people, right? So our platform, we're going to launch this personalization feature in around, I would say, maybe 5-6 weeks. Our platform will allow you to send hyper-personalized emails at scale. And also one thing that's, I guess we are getting close to finishing up the conversation. So one thing that might be relevant for all of you guys is how you can use custom mail server for your own good, right? I'm sure many of you are doing recruiting right now, as most MBA students are, and you can use this to generate interviews. There are two approaches to get interviews at different companies, right? First is like network enormous amount, really focus on few companies, go and do all the coffee chats, apply to these companies, try to get as many referrals as you want, even potentially call to some people, maybe even cold calls. This is one approach. Second approach, and I would argue a lot more efficient approach that will not result in you not sleeping at all, is actually to send lots of emails to potential employers using our own custom mail server, personalized ones using our own custom mail server, and generate emails from there. Usually we see around 10 people providing positive response, so over 10,000 emails you sent, which means that you potentially can get 10 job interviews by sending around 10,000 emails, and that's going to take literally like 1 hour. But generating 10 interviews by networking a lot, probably gonna take you good like 20 hours, like probably gonna take you to go to the to around 20 coffee chats, probably, if we assume 1 hour per coffee chat. So that's a quick summary and quick approach of how to potentially use this custom mail server for your own good, and experiment with it. There is, of course, some of the coffee chat interviews that you generate might be better because people already know you, but at what cost, right? Life is not about getting something. Life is about getting something at an acceptable cost, right? For example, do I want to buy an apple for, I'm talking about the fruit apple, not a computer, for $100? No, I mean, if I get that, irrespective of how much I pay, is it good? Probably good, because I'm going to eat it and I'm going to enjoy taste of apple, right? But at what cost? So if cost of something is very high, then ideally you don't want to do it. The same thing. It's very important to be super efficient with making sure that the time you spend in something going to have a very large return on investment. So to summarize a little bit about Genesis AI, and also, like, I'm sure lots of people might be curious about, we are most likely going to have two interns for summer internship. And we're going to start recruiting sometimes in February. So if you will be interested at that point, you can email me at I'm just going to post email in the chat after this. But to summarize what we spoke about today, email generation, hyper-personalized emails at scale using generative AI, we believe that's the future. And also being democratic and being also definitely in full control of your own destiny is very, very important as well. We really don't want anyone to completely destroy what we have created for arbitrary reasons or reasons that they almost never provide. For SendGrid might ban you for no reasons. They will say that, oh, our tool found that you were violating our policies and blah blah blah. So yeah.
So are we open for questions, Akil? Great. So guys, any questions? Please shoot.
Yeah, I had one question. So I was reading about this debate which happened between Elon Musk and Jack Ma, where Jack Ma was optimistic about AI creating new jobs and Elon contradicting AI as being dangerous. So what is your take on AI creating new jobs when it comes to marketing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say there will be two stages. The first stage is making us more productive and empowering us. And second will be full automation. Empowering is what's happening right now. I can use GPT-4 to write better emails. I can use GPT-4 to write a better generate better sales script, for example. But still, I'm the one doing it, right? I'm the one sending emails. I'm the one who is actually going to have the sales goal. Full automation, which we are probably maybe I would say probably more like 10 to 20 years away, is when whatever you do, AI can do that fully automatically better than you. And in that case, we are definitely going to see a lot less jobs in those areas where those full automation happens. So when you are, for example, the fact that calculators came out, that did not result in fewer number of engineers working. That did not result in fewer mathematicians working, right? No, actually, market for those jobs actually increased in last 30, 40 years. But when there is a full automation coming in, then there you usually see a substantial reduction in employment in that specific sector. For example, now you can argue that for instance, one of the things was alarm clocks. So in United Kingdom, lots of people were employed as people who would wake you up in the morning. They were going home by home, and they will knock on your window using the stick they had. So in 18th century United Kingdom, they had a very small, I guess, like very 1 or 2 floor apartments, right? So they would literally do like this on your window to wake you up. And there were like, I don't know estimate, but it's probably like hundreds of thousands of people employed in that job. And then alarm clock came out, which brought full automation pretty much on waking people up. And all of those people lost job, right? We are going to see similar things on the marketing direction when it comes to things that can be easily automated. Marketing is one of the sectors which always going to have a great number of people employed because it's a very, very iterative process, and it requires lots of creativity, lots of new ideas. And right now, AI is usually better at linear stuff rather than a holistic, creative related things. If you want AI to do something like what's like 2 times 2, it can give you an answer really well. It can give you an answer to a very, very complex mathematical problem. But if you are, and it probably can beat you in that. But if it's related to giving you the most creative marketing strategies that nobody has ever done, you will beat AI in that. So humans right now and probably next 10 years will still be better than AI when it comes to creativity, because AI became really good at gathering data and looking for what it has seen somewhere, but it's really hard for AI to do something that it has never seen. But humans can do that. So I would say that marketing is not one of the sectors that will be fully automated, but it will be largely automated in 10 to 30 years.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for such an informative session. My question to you is that are there any ethical considerations or potential pitfalls when it comes to implementing AI in marketing? And if so, like how these can be mitigated?
Yes, so that's a great question. So in the email world, lots of things are self-regulated. For example, if you send out emails that has literally no email body, different email providers, Gmail and Yahoo and so on the receiving side, they will not end up delivering your emails, right? So the quality of emails you send going to affect whether your email message is going to spread to the world or not. Same way as in the real world, right? If you are selling very, very bad oranges, people are not going to buy it anymore, right? There will be a couple of instances when somebody will discover that you sold a bad orange, and before they are able to so there always will be unfortunately 1 or 2 people who will not have good experience, but as a industry which is purely run by machine learning these days, AI is able to figure out good from bad very fast, so it automatically excludes lots of harmful or unethical emails. If you're going to send emails to people that you are the worst person in the world, blah blah blah, you are probably going to not be able to send any emails from that account forever. So
Hello, Akhil. I have a question. Like, it's related to digital marketing. As we all know, like SEO, how it play a crucial role. So whenever we write blogs, so we look for specific keywords. Okay, and now we can write our content with the help of ChatGPT. But the ChatGPT, the result which it provides, it's not emphasized much on keywords. So there's any AI which emphasize trending keywords along with content, unlike ChatGPT who just give us content rather than focusing on keywords which is trending.
That's a good question. Yeah, so SEO, yeah, we can talk a little bit about SEO and AI. So SEO is becoming is probably one of the industries which is becoming it's huge transformations there, because before it cost lots of money to basically write blog posts, but right now those can be done by AI, right? So how is it possible to beat people in this? What can you do? Can you provide more blog posts, or what can be done there? That's a big question, right? And the answer is a better AI-generated email content. That's the solution, and that's the answer. If you can beat people in email content generation by writing it better using AI, that's the end game. You need really good blog posts that will be better than what humans can do and better than what other AIs can do. And one way of doing that is, of course, train your AI tool on specific keywords you are going to generate. But putting aside keywords, it's really, right now, Google and Bing and so on, they really just care, or even YouTube search, TikTok search, they really just care about good content. And you might not even mention specific keyword a few times in a blog post, but if Google figures out that you're talking about that topic using its machine learning, it's going to rank you high on whenever somebody search something that might be really relevant to that. So the importance of keywords are actually going down as we are progressing in AI, because AI is able to holistically understand what your article is about.
Thank you.
Hello,
Guys,
sir.
anyone?
Uh, Hello, sir. Let me first say that your words have been really insightful. And I would like to ask you about your views on the role of AI in predicting consumer behavior, and also the trends and how these can be used for making marketing strategies.
That's a great question, and a real tough question as well. Customer behavior is predicting customer behavior, one of the most difficult parts in marketing, probably. But in the end, it really goes down to how much data we have about customer behavior. So if you, for example, had millions of data points about different customer profiles and what they did they buy, they did not buy, did they subscribe for a starter tire, for a starter plus tire, all those things. If you had those data, then it becomes easy for AI to synthesize all of this and make good predictions on how likely a new person, which it has not seen, is to buy or not buy your solution, right? So humans are very, very bad at synthesizing large-scale information. If you gave me 1 million data points about different customer behavior, it would be impossible for me to give you a one great synthesized, holistic summary of what people do in what cases. But AI is exceptional in that. So but problems there is, where do you get this amount of data? How do you clean it? how to structure it in a way that AI understands. That's a bigger challenge. But there are lots of automation tools there that allow you to clean this data and make it usable for AI. And that's an extremely growing market. So I'm sure that humans will spend a lot less time on cleaning data and structuring data and more time on collecting the data. And how do you collect the data? In the end, it again all goes down to marketing, making sure that for instance, when somebody visited your website and is leaving from the website, you are not easily going to let this person go, right? You're going to do, for example, some sort of a checkout pop-up or person leaving a website pop-up or quiz or something to capture that person's email and try to bring him back again on the platform and try to give yourself one more shot in selling your product.
Thank you, sir.
Greetings, sir. I have two questions. So what skills should one focus on developing to prepare for a career in AI-driven marketing? And could you provide some career advice regarding entering the field of marketing with a focus on AI?
Career in marketing. For career in marketing, there are like two things. So what's really good with marketing? So first part is it's very analytical, and second is it is extremely creative. So you need this both skill sets to be able to succeed in marketing. So analytical means what? Knowing a little bit of computer science, or at least know how to use GPT-4 to write some code, knowing a little bit of data science, being able to run large-scale data analysis projects. For example, you received 1 million input-output about users, and you want to know how you can actually do some data science to predict X or Y. That's an important skill. And finally, it's important to be creative, right? Because marketing is all about finding new things. It's all about being contrarian. So how can you come up and find new marketing solutions? That's an important. So answer to that question is do everything that takes to maximize these two skills. You have creativity and analytical reasoning. Business school is extraordinarily good in maximizing your analytical skill sets. My recommendation will be, in addition to, of course, taking business related classes, also do lots of computer science, lots of statistics, and so on. And for the creativity part, so it's really important to know biology behind creativity. So creativity comes from deeper layers of conscience and deeper layers of the way we think. So think about when usually do good ideas come. They do not come when you are having 20 meetings next to each other and you are going from one thing to another and always rushing. It's not where you feel the most creative. You feel most creative when you shower, when you are meditating, when you are running, when you are like playing something, when you are relaxing, when you are doing yoga. So those are times when you feel the most creative, because your deeper subconscious level is giving you ideas from beneath and telling you this might be a good thing, this might not be a good idea. We feel sometimes creative problem solving. If I'm sure all of you guys, when you are doing a problem set and you are not able to do it, if you sleep on it, next day you wake up, and even if without thinking about at all about that day, you have a new a creative solution to that problem, right? So your brain, your deep subconscious does work for you. So quick answer is to maximize your creative abilities. You need to learn how to communicate with your subconscious. And the best way to do that is through meditation, actually. I'm a big fan. So hedge fund I was working at, Bridgewater Associates, largest hedge fund in the world. Their CEO, our CEO, Ray Dalio, is a big fan of meditation. And I started to learn about it from Bridgewater. It's called transcendental meditation. You basically use mantra, repeat in your head for 20 minutes a day, and it is truly groundbreaking. Not only it gives you great ideas during and after meditation, but also energizes you, makes you a lot more composed, calmer, and just generally a happier person. You find that power is in stillness. Power is not going from doing one thing and jumping to another thing and making 100 calls a day. No, power is being still. That's usually where creativity, it's not inaction. Inaction is different. Stillness, which meditation teaches you, is sometimes how to just like let yourself do the work for you without you trying to do the work. Instead of trying to do something, just doing it. That's what meditation teaches you. And it's also great. It has been great for me when it comes to creativity.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, actually. So my question is regarding how AI has changed the email scenario. So I believe like we used to have newspapers, and when pictures were added, it opened a new domain in the space how a newspaper broadcasted a news. So I think similarly, AI is also changing the space of how an email is used. So I would like to know what are the future changes that you think will be, which are the upcoming changes in the domain, and also the risk that will be coming with it. Like we have spam in our Gmails. So they use pattern recognition, content analysis, domain authentication to know about spams. But now we can bypass all of this through AI generated mails. So can you shed some light on this?
Yes, for sure. So problem with spam existed is existing since email came out, right? And can you say that today you are receiving lots less spams than you received 5 years ago? I personally find absolutely no difference when I check my inbox. Because why? For example, Google might become better at detecting spam based on the existing emails, but then people change type of emails they send, and then Google needs to catch up with this new changed emails, right? So they figure out that it's always going to be some sort of like email marketers or in general marketers will be always one step ahead. So they found that best way to minimize chances of spam is to have very strict complaint rate limits, which means that if 5 years ago, if 10 emails out of 1,000 emails you sent were marked as spam, you would still be able to deliver emails on, let's say, on G Suite. Right now, if around 3 emails out of 1,000 you sent is marked as spam, you might start to get blocked there. So G Suite is looking at making it more, basically becoming less forgiving in people sending emails that are marked as spam. But then email marketers came up with another solution, which is email warm-up system. So email warm-up system is basically it's like a network of email accounts, let's say 10,000 email accounts that communicate with each other all the time. So if let's say that like Google spam rate threshold is 10%. I send out 100 emails and I got 12 people who marked me as a spam. So Google will ban me, right? But if I'm sending 100, let's say, but if I'm sending 100 emails that are like actually for customers, and I'm sending 900 emails that are warm-up emails that has 0 complaint rates, then my spam rate becomes 1%, right? It's not 10% anymore. So this is an easy way, basically, to for marketers. It became easy to also deal with this problem of Google having a very strict complaint rate threshold. So now what Google is doing is they are trying to identify those email warm-up emails, but that will become very hard because using generative AI, again, you can really personalize this email warm-ups, and it becomes for Google very hard to figure out which of this is actually a warm-up and which is not a warm-up. And at some point, what Google is going to do is it's going to look for all these email warm-up solutions, and will try to manually ban them. So they will basically say that if you are using this email warm-up, that's not allowed. You cannot do that. Or they will mark those emails as warm-up emails because it's sent by, let's say, a company called Instantly, which is one of the email warm-up solution providers, right? So what users will need to do is to create their own email warm-up systems for that, and I think that's a future.
Okay, thanks.
Any more questions? We'll take one more if anyone has any.
So, hello, Arya. I have a question that while you said that hyper-personalized email is a great technological advancement for marketing campaigns, but there's a privacy-related concern with that too. So, how companies are dealing with that? They are maintaining a balance between the privacy concern and the hyper-personalized email for marketing.
That's a great question. So 2 parts, right? So first, if let's say I know everything about user, I know where they live, I know how much money they are making, I know even how much money they're paying in taxes, everything, right? And then I do this really personalized email telling the users that I know how much money you are making, I know how much you paid in taxes, I know where you live, I know what's your wife's name, blah blah blah. Like that will be like so disturbing, right? User will be like, not only I'm going to mark this as a spam, I might even, I don't know, post in Twitter that I received this email. Like it will be disturbed. They will mark it as a spam. They will block you, and they will do everything they can, right? So there's actually a limit on personalization. I'm talking just from the practical side right now. You should not send emails that are too personalized. In most cases, this is not a big problem because we rarely have all the data about user, right? We usually have at most like email, company name, bio. That's usually like the most it goes. But this is actually a great research topic in general. What's the where is the line in personalization where users are getting disturbed and where extra personalization harms, right? Sort of like marginal benefit of personalizing even more compared to a user's sort of ability to sort of be comfortable with that, right? So when it comes to on the side of users not wanting their data, not wanting to receive emails or their data being used, it's really important to enforce one-click unsubscribes. Everyone should be able to unsubscribe from communication after just like clicking unsubscribe and that's it, it's going to take like literally 0.5 a second for a person to do that. And regulators should be very strict if they see an evidence of companies not honoring unsubscribes. So we really need to make sure that companies, when they say that we unsubscribe you, they actually unsubscribe you. That's very important. And also we need to have some sort of mechanism in USA as well. In EU, that this already exists, where user can request delete my data, and you are required to honor that and actually delete the data. These two are very, very important. So I think it's like analogy is, let's say you are walking in the street and somebody is asking you, hey, how are you? I want to see if you want to get coffee with me, right? For example, let's say just like you like a girl or you like a guy, and just like ask this simple question. I mean, is that like, is there something morally and ethically wrong in asking someone, do you want to get coffee for me? Definitely not, right? So even though that person did not tell you, or you should invite me on a coffee, is it sometimes annoying? Sometimes it is annoying to be asked, hey, do you want to get coffee, right? But if it's done in a good way, then usually nobody gets hurt. You actually might end up finding love of your life, right? Because this is beauty of emails. If a person sends you an email that is short, that's very clear, doesn't contain anything harmful, and you say, no, thank you, no coffee for me, and then they will say thank you and never talk to you again, that's okay interaction, right? This is how things should be. You need to have this email version of no thank you, which is unsubscribe. That's like one click unsubscribe. That's an email version of saying no thank you, and you just like continue walking, right? But if you completely cut this process of somebody saying hi to you on the street, you are gonna miss out a lot, including potentially finding love of your life. I'm sure lots of people met through randomly, in the street or something. So this is an important part of humanity, being able to say hi. So that's an important part of being who we are.
Thank you so much for their insights.
Great. So I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. R.K.L. Chasewell. It has been an honor and privilege to host you. You have not only shared your valuable insights and knowledge, but also inspired us with your words. Your expertise in the field of AI and technology is truly enlightening. We appreciate the fact that you're taking time out of your busy schedule early in the morning and joined us today for your wisdom. Thank you so much for that. And a very big thank you to the audience for your active participation and attention to the speech. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, guys. Really pleasure. I just posted also my email and my LinkedIn account. We'd love to connect. We'd love to talk more. Great questions, great conversations, and thank you, Supavi, as well for organizing. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
You.